Friday is here. We are here. And if you're in this spot watching us right now, you're in the right place. This is the Coaches Lounge with Barbara J. Beckley and the wonderful, amazing, spectacular, incredible, any other adjective I can think of, coaches that I bring on, mentors, educators, people that are helping others move the needle in their lives. Very important. And real quickly, I always tell people, Barbara, they always ask me, Barbara, why did you start this show? What is this Coaches Lounge thing? And I was like, well, it's not really drinking early in the morning right now. So it's not that type of party. Now, now drinking on high on life. Yes, we are high on life. And that's what it's all about. Life and helping other people's lives move in their world and becoming world changers. And that's what it's all about right now. And one of the reasons why I started this particular show, and it's going to go on a year now under the network. Ooh, anniversary coming around the corner. And I started because I said, you know what? Coaches need some love right now. Coaches need to be put out there and get some visibility because think about it. They're grinding with their clients. They're encouraging their clients. They're giving them tips. They're reminding them that they are, as I always say, my brand, a diamond. They are the ones that seek out and make changes to the world. And they're helping the people to understand they can be a world changer and do what they do within their, whatever they're doing. If it's, if they're coaching for mental or spiritual or personal growth or whatever they're helping somebody do in their business, they're there with them all the way. And sometimes coaches are lifetime coaches. Sometimes coaches have a certain we're going to work with you for 6 months. But after they work with a person for a while, it's like their own baby in a sense. It's like, okay, now that we've been together for a while, I can't leave you now. I got to keep making sure you can always check in with me. I can check in with you. So they do the work with you. And I want to give them a spotlight here to show how amazing they are. So today I'm really excited because I don't have one, but I have two awesome coaches that I'm bringing on. And usually, when I have women coaches come on, I call them queens. That's my tagline for women. But I have a king on today too. Oh my God. Kian, yes, Kian King is coming on and he's going to talk about, he is the founder of Response MBA. He's a strategist in healthcare and an analyst, and he's an expert in this. And he's also a mentor. He's a speaker. I've been listening to some of his videos that he's been putting out there, and they are very powerful. So as I always ask people, when I bring on these wonderful, amazing coaches, look at what they're doing. Seek them out. Go on their Facebook, go on their LinkedIn. I mean, he has some powerful information to give you when it's in the health arena. And he's going to talk a little bit about that because he really helps, basically the people in the health arena get them to the next level in the leadership lane. So he's going to talk a little bit about that. But see, I always tell people I cannot bring on my guests and just say, ta-da, they're on the screen and we start talking. No. What did I say? They're royalty. They're kings and queens. So before we come on, we're going to have this little tape. And then soon after the tape plays, we're going to have this wonderful king come on and talk about what he does in life for others. Be right back. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, good morning. Thank you for the good words, Barbara.
Oh, I know you do the work. I mean, I just meeting you, I was looking at what you're doing. I was like, this is a star. This is a celebrity. And I'm glad that you came onto the Coaches Lounge to basically express what you do for others, because I know that's a job of its own. But I know you enjoy it, and that's why we're in it, because I'm a coach too. And I love working with people and seeing them shine. And I know you probably do the same thing.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Good to be here. So before we get into, I always say, we didn't start off being these wonderful world changers and coaches. I mean, somewhere down the line, it took us to say, I think I'm interested in doing that. Or something happened, a story happened in your life that brought you to what you're doing now. So Can you, before we start getting some tips that you're going to give us in your area of expertise of how you kind of started on this journey?
Absolutely. So for anyone out there who works in holistic health or anything health related, I think we kind of all share an experience that we came to it through our own personal experience with our own health. And that's exactly what happened to me. In 2008, I was diagnosed with MRSA. It was recurring. I was on a whole string of antibiotics. It became resistant to every single one. And at one point, I just got up and I said, I've got to take responsibility for my health because the healthcare system is not helping me. It is not doing anything for me right now. I have to take the lead. I'm going to have to make some changes in my life. So I went on this huge health journey for several years after that and learned so much about what health really means for me and my body and my life on not just a physical level, but also the emotional and spiritual levels too, and relationships with others. And through learning that, I got kind of an attitude about the healthcare system. I realized that the system is flawed in many ways. It's done a lot of harm. A lot of people have been hurt and harmed by the system. And I got to a point where I was looking for jobs in 2018. I needed to make a change in my career. And I said, no matter what, I'm not going to work in healthcare. I absolutely will not. I won't work for the system that hurt me so much. Even in spite of that, I was met with this amazing opportunity to work on this huge historic corporate healthcare merger. And I got this opportunity to be a direct advisor to leaders in that corporation. And things kind of grew from there. I had obviously some resistance, but I had to overcome it. And I realized this is actually what I want to do. Even though the system has really hurt me, because I care about other people, I want to help make it better from the inside.
Yes. Wow. Amazing. See, and I always say it takes something that we go through, like you said, with your health, to say, either I'm going to just do what I do and just be like, I don't even want to deal with them. Like you said, you were just really get, because and I totally understand that. I know that's a whole other show talking about that industry kind of, but because I have my own health issues too, and I have dealt with that. So I totally get what you're saying. But what I love what you did, King, is that you basically said, you know what, I want to do something about it. I want to really get into what I like to do and help others and not have to be dealing with what I dealt with. You took a stand. You took a stand, and that's what it's all about. And I like I said, I just humbly give you kudos for that, because it takes a lot to do it. And then not only take a stand for yourself and say, no, I'm going to help get myself into a certain level with the holistic care, but then help others. So wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So what I want to get into, because one thing I like to give people is just a little smidge of what you do far as in your coaching lane. So I know there's three things that you kind of gave me to talk about, and I want to kind of go into that with you. I know the first one, it was becoming qualified to work with mainstream health leaders without going back to school. So can you just give us a little bit regarding that?
Yeah. So when I started doing this work, I had no background in healthcare. I'd never worked in healthcare. My degree was not in healthcare. I thought I was going to be a classroom teacher. That was my career before. And I think, going in, there was skepticism from some of the leaders. They weren't so sure, if they could really trust me to support them. But once I got in, once I started speaking with them and listening and understanding their needs, the relationships is what really drove me to help, really understanding what people need. And I will say that for anyone looking to get into healthcare leadership or influence mainstream healthcare on a big level, which means talking to health administrators, leaders in hospital systems, CEOs, the healthcare industry has it's got this paradigm around change where we have the big institutions where we look at that and we say, it's not going to change. They're so resistant. And meanwhile, there's all this change rushing through that they actually have to navigate. And one example of that is, I know you mostly work with women coaches. Well, it's close to 80%, about 79% of healthcare workers are women, but only 15% of them become CEOs in healthcare. However, that's still amazing because across all industries, only 4% of all CEOs are women. So the fact that healthcare leadership is growing in the right direction, we're letting more women into leadership. Of course, we want women to be fully represented because women are half the population. They should be half of the leaders. But given the institutional dynamics at work, those are things that are undergoing great change. And every year, the number of women getting into healthcare leadership is growing and growing and growing. And that alone is a sign that we can all influence change in brand new ways, because the whole dynamic of the industry is changing. And there are so many opportunities. Even if you didn't go to school for healthcare or business, there are roles for you. There are ways that you can enter through your lived experience. I know this because it happened for me.
Wow. See, you give people hope. And that's amazing. I was looking at statistics you were saying about the women in the, CEO leadership. I mean, I'm glad it was moving slowly into that, that part of it, like you said, getting representation. But I didn't even know it was that low of a percentage, though. I was like, that was shocking. That's an awareness right there. But I'm glad that you're helping, get to helping women, I know, and men too, get to that point. And like you said, no, I like what you're saying without going back to school. Not saying I'm not encouraging anybody not to go to school, but you're basically saying don't let that stop you. You can still do within that field without saying, well, I got to go back and start from scratch and all that kind of stuff. And I'm glad that you found ways for people to do that.
That's right. Yeah, we need to lean into the talents that we have. We need to lean into our lived experience, because I think most people who work in healthcare and most people who work in holistic health believe that they need to get more qualified before they get out and start helping people on a bigger level. And really, the breakthrough that needs to happen is not more education at this point. We have the education we need. We have the experience we need. We need to trust that and step out and take a leap and help more people.
I can just hear in your voice, you're like, we need to just do what you got to just do it.
Like Nike said. Happening. It's not happening fast enough. That's basically what I'm saying here. There's so much opportunity. We just need to do it.
Wow. See, that's good to hear. Because some people sometimes don't even know that. That's why this is other thing about the show. I love when the coaches come on like yourself and give awareness to what's really going on and say, no, we need you to step up. No, they're not going to wait for you. You can do this. It's out there. The opportunity is out there. So I'm loving that. Now, the other thing I knew how to create meaningful changes and healing in the systematic level. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, this is a really big topic. It can be really tough because I know a lot of people who want to change healthcare. They see the way the healthcare system is and they're not happy with it, especially in the USA. There's a lot of issues, right? But once they start trying to make that change, like that might come through the form of, building a social media presence and communicating to people, giving them your message, trying to, show people the truth, show people like what they can see that's out there, raise awareness. And people hit a wall. Folks in my community, they tend to hit a wall. They say, I think that I can't influence any farther. Like, I'm talking to all these people and they're saying yes, but they don't have any influence. They're not important. They can't really make a change. I wish I could talk to the leaders. I wish I could talk to the people that really matter. So what we're really seeing here is the difference between individual change, being able to change hearts and minds one person at a time, versus systemic change, cultural change, being able to change the whole of society, the whole of the world. And that is also something that is happening and needs to happen. But it's easy to get stuck in thinking that it's all on me. It's all on me as one individual person. What can I do to change the world? Sure, I've got people who love what I do, that follow me, that listen to me, that get inspired by me. But that's just one person here, one person there. I want to change the whole world. The truth is, as one person, you can't change the world on your own. This is about all of us working together. This is bigger than you and me. This is bigger than one person going through a struggle and coming out of it and maybe influencing one other person. We can all do that in our lives, and that's what we do. And we don't always see the long-term outcomes of what we do. But when we get together and we listen to each other, we inspire each other, and we collaborate, we can see the bigger change in front of us. And we'll be amazed at what can happen in just a few short years of working together.
Yes. Oh my God. I love your passion. We need to multiply you. We need to multiply you. I'm glad you're just making such a change, and just me listening to it, there's hope. There is hope. And especially like you said, in the system, something's broke. Something's broke. I mean, we're being candid here. Something's broke in that area, and something needs to change, because there's so many of us that are dealing with different holistic and health wise, and dealing with the fact, okay, I don't want to take all this medication, or I don't want to go that route. There's another way. And you're showing people that you can go in that area and just do it. So I'm loving how you're bringing that awareness there. And that's why I told people, please listen to this king when he's talking on his social media and his videos, because he is really bringing the awareness to the forefront. And now I want to ask you too. Now, the next thing, I know you said there's pathways to 6-digit income. Talking about some money.
Yeah.
So how's that part work?
Yeah. Well, so there's some interesting things going on inside and outside the healthcare system. I think inside the healthcare system, I think healthcare is the #1 employer in the United States overall. And there are a lot of jobs we might not know about in healthcare that pay 6 figures inside healthcare administration. And if you've worked on the front lines, it puts you in a great position to work towards one of those careers. But even if you don't want to work inside the system, there is a great opportunity that like hardly anybody knows about these days that I really want to share. And it is that leaders in healthcare administration are looking for advisors. They are looking for help. So remember how I said, there's 15% of CEOs in healthcare that are women. And that goes to, when you expand that out to leaders in healthcare in general, that goes up to around 25%. And women in healthcare leadership are facing a lot of challenges because they need to be heard. They are the ones that really understand intimately. And I say that women leaders are more qualified than most of the men leaders that are there because women have to break through more barriers to get where they are. So they have had to fight tooth and nail in a culture, in a business culture that is dominated by men and our idea of what masculine leadership is supposed to be like. And most women overall, I'll say women and people of color, both significantly say that they don't get heard in meetings. They'll get together, big decisions are being made. We're supposed to collaborate as a team on these big decisions that affect millions of patients. And women and people of color are not being heard. They are giving out ideas and being completely ignored. In some situations, like a few minutes will pass and one of the white men at the table will give the exact same idea and get all the credit. This is a big, we're talking about systemic and cultural issues. This is a big, and people who understand this, if you know this and you understand it and you have an intimate understanding of how it feels to not be heard and the breakthrough that can bring you to a place of showing up, speaking out, standing up for what you believe in and actually getting heard, getting your place and voice at the table. If you can help people through that process, they're gaining confidence, they're gaining emotional understanding, being able to have courage and get out there and speak their truth. If you can help people in those aspects, you can advise healthcare leaders. There is a desperate need for that kind of help. The bridge to getting there is positioning, it's messaging. But the core of the help that you will give, I'm sure a lot of folks in the audience and a lot of coaches out there already have this amazing skill. And this is a great opportunity to put it to use because executives can not only pay you individually as clients, but you can also get paid through the corporations, through the hospital systems and the health tech startups and the various, health and life sciences, private companies, publicly traded companies that have budgets for training. So you can position yourself as somebody that can help leadership in this organization. And there is money out there for you. Like I said, the bridge is communicating what you do, positioning yourself as an advisor, and having the confidence to step forward and pass on your wisdom.
Woo, so well said. So well said. See, and like I said before, I said it again, the awareness, you're giving the awareness that is there. And sometimes a lot of people, if you don't know, you don't know. And I totally understand. If you don't know, now you know. You can't sit there and say you don't know from this king that's talking today. But if you know and you're still kind of stagnated, and I'm talking to the women, then okay, it's time to move on. You hear that the money is there. You hear that the positions are there. You hear that you can get a chance to move to the next level. Now just go ahead and do it, no matter what. But nothing should be stopping your way. The only person sometimes that's stopping ourselves is ourselves. And I love how you said that, there's so much opportunity there, but you just have to, just jump in. And just going back a little bit, what you said about, that's why I was smiling. I was doing that when you said about how you can be in a board meeting or just in a meeting and us as, women of color, just women, period. Like you said, can say an idea And then they're like, okay. And then some, like, what, 5 minutes later down the road, male or white male, like you said, is saying the exact same thing that you said, but maybe tweaked it a little bit different. And all of a sudden, oh my God, that's a brilliant idea. And it happens not just within the health arena. I'm telling people right now, I'm in corporate, I work in insurance, and it happens too. So thank you for bringing that out. It's like, okay, I'm going to put that out there. That is not,
it's important. And it's good to recognize this. It's real, right? The social dynamics, racism and sexism are real. And at the same time, we can't let that hold us back from getting where we need to be and making the changes we need to make.
Yes. Thank you. Oh, I can listen to you all day, sir. You are amazing and a cheerleader for us. See, everybody, please reach out to this wonderful coach, this wonderful king. Now, what I want to do just for 30 seconds, I want to take myself down because I want you to give any lasting thoughts that you want to give to the audience before we close out. So I'm going to take myself down. I'll be right back.
Sure. So last thoughts. I know it can be scary. I'm sure for anyone out there faced with their next level in any arena of life, career, business, you know what your next level is and you're hesitating. We all go through this. We really all go through this. It's not just up to you. There is support. Reach out and get support. Be honest with yourself. You don't have to put pressure on yourself to take a bigger leap than what you are ready for right now. And be open. As you're taking that first baby step, be open with other people. Be open with people you trust. Have conversations with other people that you trust about what you're doing. You never know what can grow, and we can only grow from where we are. We expect that we're starting here, and we want to be all the way up here. We want to save the whole world. We want to be multi-billionaires. We want to be way up there. We want to be world famous, right? We want to do everything. And we say, but I can't, I'm all the way down here. So remembering that as human beings, we will grow and we have great potential and we'll always be surprised at how much we can grow, but we grow one step at a time. So it's time to be honest with ourselves and say, what is the step that might seem like it's not enough, but it's what I can do right now. It's what I can do. What can I do? What one little tiny step can I take? And when you take that step, don't just take it alone. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your loved ones, tell your mentors. If you don't have people that you trust to be your mentors, find people, get out there, because there are mentors out there. As we know, being on the show with Barbara, there are lots of coaches out there, lots of mentors out there, lots of sources of support. So if you don't feel like you have the right mentorship in your life, if you feel like you're not really getting the support you need, the people who understand and can really hear you out, go and find people to follow, to inspire you. Reach out and get help when the time comes, when you need it. Because with each little baby step you take, the more people that you are able to trust and share that with, that are genuinely supporting you, care about what you do, and are behind you all the way, the more that baby step can flourish and grow. And you will be surprised at what will happen, because growth doesn't happen all at once. It's a series of tiny incremental steps. Not just that, tiny steps in community with others and with genuine, loving, kind, caring support. That's what we need to prioritize for ourselves as we get to the next level in our lives.
Oh my God, you just made my day. Kian, you're amazing. You're amazing. And please, everybody, again, now, Kian, let everybody know how they can contact you. Definitely
Sure.
let them know.
Please connect with me on LinkedIn. I love talking about work, so LinkedIn is the place to be. Also Facebook, Kian Z Official, and response.mba. or healingthesystem.com. Both of those addresses lead to the same place right now. So just go ahead and check that out. I'm really looking forward to connect.
Yes, and connect. Okay, I know I don't supposed to tell people what to do, but I'm going to suggest connect to this wonderful king. I've been getting in trouble when I tell people connect with my coaches that I've interviewed, but they're like, "Bro, you can't tell people what to do." That's okay. Well, I'll suggest to reach out to this wonderful king. And this is why I bring the coaches, so you can understand what they do, how powerful they are in the world, how their world changes. They're making a difference and letting you know that you can make a difference too. And being under him, I'm talking about the king here, right here, that you can make a difference. He's telling you can do it. All you got to do is step make that step. Just make that one step, just that one step, like he said. So thank you so much for being on the Coaches Lounge this morning. And you are welcome anytime to come back.
Great. Looking forward
Anytime
to
to come
it.
back.
Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Okay. Well, you take care. Have a nice weekend, and we'll be right back. Oops. You caught me. I just love, well, okay. One thing, if you know me, I love music and I love dancing. So, yeah, those two kind of combine together. And I'm just having fun. I'm having fun. If you're just tuning in right now, you're tuned into the Coaches Lounge with yours truly, Barbara J. Beckley. I am the TV host and producer under the Diamond Factor Network Media. I help people, first of all, understand their purpose, and then from there, get them visible. People need to know who you are. Just like this king that just came on, Kian, he is amazing. You see how he was amazing. I mean, I could have just had him talking and have another show. We need to get another show for him. So, but see, I bring him on because you need to know, you need to be aware of the coaches out there, the educators out there, the mentors to help you grow. Because I don't want any excuses from people saying, well, I couldn't do it. Well, I couldn't find nobody. Well, that's why I'm bringing them to this stage here. So I did have the work for you. All you have to do is step out and do the other part and reach out to the coaches that I bring on. And if you don't need it, because somebody say, well, I don't know if I need that particular coach, but you know somebody that does. So that's why I always say, if you don't need it, then you know somebody and you can transfer that information to that person so they can reach out to these wonderful coaches. So thank you so much again, Kian, for coming on the show. Like I said, you are welcome back anytime. Now, as I said, I don't have one coach today. I have another coach coming. Now, this is the queen of queens. I have to pause for this because this lady, I'm telling you, if you work with her, if you even talk to her, you don't have to work with, just talk to speak to her. She will change your life. Believe me. And I don't say that. I am very, very cautious of the certain people, especially coaches that I interview, that I say that. With her, I'm telling you, it's 150% guaranteed. I met her through another coaching, or we have a coach, a speaking coach, we together, and I met her through that particular organization, and we're still together in that, of course. And when I seen her speaking, when I seen her flow in her genius of what she does, I said, she is nothing to mess with. She's just like this top. So I'm telling you right now, Gunjani, she is queen of queens. She's the CEO and founder of Breath to Take to Awakening Abundance. And I'm loving how abundance is in her title of her CEO founder, because she's this abundance of knowledge, abundance of expertise. What she does, she feels it. You know how some people, you can come to them and they talk about what they do, and they're like, yeah, I do this, and I got a 12 course here, and you can hire me here, and I can help you in there. No. It's not that flat. With her, soon as you talk to her, you're going to feel the warmness. You're going to feel just the oozing out of the care and the love that comes from her. And that's really rare in some of the coaches. And, I know we're here to make money, we're here to help you, but she puts it in a whole nother level. So I'm really so glad that she's coming on the Coaches Lounge. And she's a speaker. She's an international speaker. She's probably going to say, no. I'm like, no, yes, you are. You're an international speaker. You're a champions of champs. You're a queen of queens. You are a world changer, lady. And I want you to just soak in that and know that. And everybody's going to know that after they hear this conversation. I hate to say interview. That sounds so bad. Conversation with her. But as I said before, I don't bring on royalty just ta-da. No, 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 no. We're going to see a little clip, and then you will see this wonderful queen, and we're going to have this conversation with her to get to know her just a little bit more, and what she does and how she changes the world for others. We'll be right back.
Wow. Just for you. Good morning. I look at my mug.
What does it say? Queen. Oh my God. It says queen.
I am so honored to be here. I am just, wow. You definitely are a light worker, and thank you for being one in my life. Truly very appreciative and very honored to be here. Big hugs.
Yes, I wish I could give you a hug in person. That's going to happen. That is going to happen.
Yes, it's on my manifesting vision board thingy.
I already know it is going to happen. So, lady, this is all about you today, Mrs. Wonderful, Mrs. Queen. Like I said earlier, I bring on these amazing coaches. We just had one that just, and I think you know each other.
I've heard, but I'm so glad to have woken up this morning with so much passion and excitement that I was like, wow, I'm going to have to connect with him. It's been a minute.
Yeah. I mean, this is like, this powerhouse today, him, and then now you, and, it can't help. And I know for you, it's early. Isn't it like around, what, 6:30 your time?
6:30. I'm like, Barbara, you're special. I know I don't even get out of bed. This is the time I'm normally meditating. I don't get out at 5:30 and show up. But I was like, you're special. I can't say no to this. This is way too good to not be here. I will do anything. So here I am. Yes.
Because after I thought about it, I said, oh my God, it's 6:30 where she's at. I know she probably does other things to get ready for the day. So thank you. That's an honor and a privilege. And I truly appreciate you getting up to come on the show. I mean, because people, first of all, need to hear what you have to say. And then, I'm just going to take it. Yeah, I'm going to be a little spoiled. I just wanted you to come on the show because I just love you.
I'm so honored to be here. So honored. And without, you, I guess we will get into that story in a second, but you have significantly turned around my speaking career by just, I was in my little bubble, and, like when we are expanding and when we're really expanding, it's so important that we have coaches, we have support, we have mentors, we have friends, that truly hold us through that at times, because it's like, I can do it with 500 people, but am I ready for 1,500 people? One day, 15,000 people. So it takes time and energy, but it's like, how do we get through those fears and then have someone support us? So you've truly been one of those people for me, and I'm so appreciative of you. So yeah.
I'm just glad I'm a little nugget to push you, because I just see it. I mean, I always tell you, I say, you are going to be in front of millions of people talking about what you do. And it starts right here. So let's get into, because I really want everybody to hear, like I said before, it takes certain things in your life to get to where you're at right now. I mean, the stories of your life, whatever, maybe something happened or somebody, just pushed you to that next level of what you're trying to do. So you are doing wonders, when it comes in your zone right here. So how did it all start? That's what I want to know.
So a brief story, but this is how it all started. So I currently help ambitious women entrepreneurs make, consistent 10K months through my Freedom and Abundance Mastermind. And basically, the reason why I do that is because I lean on my experience of 15 years of being a mental health therapist, NLP practitioner, clinical hypnotherapist, breathwork and meditation practitioner, and all the titles, right? Basically, the reason why that came about was because I have had a lot of trauma in my life, and I have served 15 years, worth of my experience with people to get out of depression, anxiety, PTSD, addiction, grief, and loss. And I had my own brush with that not too long ago. And I was just getting out of my own hole. So, in my postpartum anxiety and some trauma that I went through in terms of big adjustments that I was going through my life. So, it's like in year one, I got my husband and I met. I'd been looking for someone. So, I sort of almost manifested him. Like, I had a divorce, I got a divorce. And then 12 years of on and off relationships and learning the lessons from the relationship and not wanting to settle, but really wanted to be with someone that was deserving of me and truly working on myself to be able to get to that place. So I met my husband, and then literally it was like I met my husband. I brought my mother-in-law from, she has MS, so she's wheelchair bound, from Tanzania. She's never been in the United States. Literally gave up my entire practice, my friends, my network, everything in Florida, and moved to California. Moved her from Tanzania, had my child the very next year. So a lot of big changes in my life that I didn't get a chance to sort of work through. And through that time, we were going through financial struggles because, like I said, I gave up everything and I was used to having my private practice. It took an entire year to get my license because I always joke with my husband that if I knew that it was going to take my entire year and I would have to give up my career, which is a big part of my life and my purpose of existing, I would have never married him. But I guess we were meant to be together, and I was meant to go through that lesson in order to be who I am. As I was coming out of my circle, as I was coming out of my hole, breathwork found me. I used to have my own podcast show, and it was really exciting to host that show. The show was called Traumatic Transformations with Gunjani Patel. And basically it was around 2020, because I was noticing that as I got my license and I was coming out of my hole, I was noticing that we were going through so much financial stressors, but finally I was coming back to work. My private practice was taking off, and I almost had a wait list because of the pandemic in 2020. And I realized, so I grew up with a lot of, I grew up in a culture where women were always supposed to be one step behind. We're always supposed to be, there's like we couldn't talk about money. Like the idea that we had around money and abundance. I mean, my parents worked really hard. And in the beginning, when they had us, they didn't have any money. And then it was like one of those rag to riches kind of story, but it's like they really worked hard. And there were times I didn't even see my dad growing up because he was so busy working. So my consciousness about money and abundance was sort of skewed. So over the years, I've done a lot of work on abundance, around scarcity, around worth, around, like money being so controlling. We have to work so hard. So it's almost like you have to be successful, but, you can't talk about it. So it's like this almost cross paths. So as I was going through some of my stuff and coming out of that and noticing that, did you know that money is like the number one stressor in people's lives and mental health problems? And I treat mental health problems. So as I was noticing that in my own life, it's like my private practice was on wait list because I treat mood disorders, anxiety, depression, stress, and trauma. And I was like 2020 pandemic, I was like, yeah, I'm doing great in terms of my business because I've always had this, like I've always known deep down that universe got my back and I will always have money. But there were times that hiccups. So it's like I had to learn my own manifesting journey. It's like I know the things, but why is this happening? So now I teach what I healed through and what worked and what didn't work. So as I was going through that, I was like, okay, my private practice is on wait list, but it just didn't feel right in terms of humanity. Then why are so many people in terms of couples, in terms of marriages, in terms of people, like our ability to not be safe in our bodies when uncertainty hits. And I really saw a problem with that. And I was like, I need to do something about it. So I started to, as I was hosting my show, I met someone who was talking about stress and anxiety, obviously, because that was my zone of genius. And I was like, and I was going through my own stuff. So I was healing really deeply, subconsciously, instead of just, mindset. Because I was like, I know all the things in terms of the mindset, but I need to go deeper because there are still things that I'm holding on to that I know that all this resentment, bitterness, sadness, grief that I need to really emote and release. So I found breath work. It was trauma-informed breath work. So because trauma has been a big part of my life and how I serve, I want people to walk through this experience of it's safe, and
Mhm.
really be safe in your bodies. And like my zone of genius is mindset, helping people identify their self-limiting beliefs and really helping them get in their bodies, feel safe, and just create and design a life, because we have clarity, we have access to our source, we have access to our everything that we need within us. But
Mhm.
when we are piled up with fear, doubt, lack of trust, and we don't know how to surrender because we're so much in control. And basically, in the world of trauma, it's like we always say, it's like, when you feel that something is uncontrollable, when something is unpredictable, and
Mhm.
something that is too emotionally severe, and you feel alone through it, it's really hard. So
Yes, it
I
is.
don't want that for people. And I want them to really help and connect them with who they are, who they were here to be, to the love within them, and like just so much abundance in and around them that you can embody as you're, walking through life. So
Yes.
yeah.
Woo. See, everybody, what did I tell you? What did I tell you? I had to put that out there real quick. But yeah, Queen, I mean, first of all, thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for, and see, that's so important. And I tell everybody all the time, when you hear what the coach is now, she's coach,
Yeah.
expert and everything, but she was dealing with that. And that's sometimes where the passion comes, why you want to do what you do, because
Right.
maybe you went through something similar or dealing with it as you're walking through it with others and you understand them.
Yeah.
See, that's the part that I like about that. Did you understand
Yeah.
the individuals that you're working with, because you dealt with it in certain
100%.
areas of your life?
I
And
dealt with, imposter syndrome. Like, who am
yes,
I? Who is going to listen to my iPod? Who am I to talk? Who am I to go out there in the world? And then I had this whole perfectionism, lack of confidence, so much fear, so much doubt, all the things that I was going through that I was like, I wish, God, are you listening? Like, or are you there? Like, what is happening? And until I released all the stuff that wasn't serving me, I wasn't able to hear and just acknowledge all the love and wisdom that existed all along.
I'm so glad that you didn't stay in the spot. See, I always tell people, because if you would have stayed, we wouldn't have got you as a coach.
Yes,
You
yes,
wouldn't have been helping so many people. So, and this is just a good thing to tell people that are out there that are thinking about being a coach or already a coach and still
100%.
having those issues that you're talking about, Queen.
Yes,
And you're just letting us know that you can do it. You can
100%,
get through
100%.
it.
Everybody, all of us can do whatever we are designed. Like, there was a time in my life when very early on, before I even became a therapist, as I was training to become a therapist, and it was the time where my advisor in school was like, you need to go be, you need to go to therapy because you need to know what it feels like to have other people sitting in front of you in the couch. And I'm like, what therapy? Like, I grew up I'm South Asian Indian. So I grew up in a culture where we didn't do therapy, we didn't believe in mental health. And I was like, what therapy? There's nothing wrong with me. And all along, like literally, and I was so in denial. And then I went to a therapist. My life entirely changed.
Mm.
And I literally healed from PTSD, anxiety, generational, because some of these disorders unfortunately
Our
are
generation.
generational thing.
Yeah.
It is, we had it, our parents had it, their parents had it, but nobody treated it, nobody talked about it. And thus we just live with, I'm not good enough, I am not worthy, I'm a failure, I'm unlovable.
Yes.
Even though we consciously don't know that, deep down when we're expanding, some of those things come up, and don't
Yes.
deal with it. Yeah, it,
Yes.
it creates the circumstances around us, unfortunately.
Yeah. And you have to make that decision in your own mind. Because, like everything you're saying, Queen, I've been through it.
I see
Sometimes
you.
still deal with it. Sometimes I tell people, I said, just because,
And
people are
sometimes even
telling
I
you,
go through.
yeah,
Yeah.
we still deal
Yes.
with it. And
100%.
we work the tools that we know,
Yeah.
and then we tell the other people that we're helping use the tools because you're using them and that's what's helping you.
100%. And that's why, like went through a phase where I was like so resistant to seeking help, because I was like, I know
Mm,
everything, I'm the therapist. And there was so much shame associated there, that how can
mm,
I be a failure? How can I not know? How can I,
mm.
not? And sometimes in my manifesting journey too, it's like there are times that I don't manifest what I want. And then I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to be this manifesting person. Why am I not? Because I'm too attached to the outcome. Like, there's a whole process and the method to the madness that we'll talk about. But it's just, there's that, self, like holding yourself through grace when you're going through some of the things that are happening in your life, as opposed to, oh, how can I go through this and I don't need help and I'm good. And just like, I was so dissociated and not wanting help and just in a survival mode that I didn't even know that I was in that place till I started to do other things. And I'm like, okay, one baby step forward, one step at a time, and then keep working, keep marching forward. And then I was like, wow, I was going through some stuff that I didn't acknowledge or realize that I was just surviving day to day. Like just life is boring. It sucks. And I'll just accept that as my reality.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm glad that, we, like you said, we said, there has to be something different. When doesn't something feels, I always tell it's like a tight something on you, and something's not right, but you're trying to figure out what it is. And then when you finally find out, it's like, I got this. I understand now. I know I need to do what I need to do.
Yes. And the momentum, it's like, in the world of law of attraction, it's like when you start to take small baby steps forward and stay in the place of this is what I desire, and even get it. And that's why it's so important to have coaches and support, because I, like I said, through breath work, my life changed because I really went deep. Like sometimes because of our fears, because of, our limitations and blind spots, we don't allow ourselves to stretch that big. And when I finally got the help that I wanted, I not only just changed my wealth beliefs, but I changed who I was. I went from complete scarcity consciousness to abundance consciousness. And like you were mentioning earlier, I now embody abundance, because even like when I get on stages like this, I truly, truly pray and show up and say, you know what? Because, whatever information we have to say, everybody knows everything. Everybody has the knowledge. Everybody knows all the things, right? But how is your representation helping people feel? How is it lighting the fire in them? How is it, like, I literally pray that may this activate. And that's why when you said that, I was like, oh, thank you. All the things that I was praying for out there, you actually see and validated. So I truly appreciate that, because I literally say, may, and wherever I go, it activates abundance in people. It activates the light in them so they can cast the light on their shadows and grow in terms of shifting their consciousness to who they were really meant here to be, and the goodness that exists within them. And it's, yeah.
And, I loved how you said, activate, validate. I love how you said that, because we do need to really validate each other, and coaches and other coaches, we need to do that with each other. I'm always telling you, I said, no matter what, I always want to be, if I can be your cheerleader, encourager, because we understand that it takes that encouraging to help others to get to their, to help to get to their level.
100%.
But then we need encouraging too. As coaches, we need encouraging too. So it works.
Yes. And like Kian was saying, it's like, as women, a lot of times we don't get seen and heard as children, and we were like, shh, and just like step back and just, always shushed. And even when we grow older and wiser, I don't like the word older, so I like to use the word wiser. When we grow wiser with each year forward, I really feel that whether we are in corporates, whether we are, in our marriages, whether we're in our relationships, if we don't heal those seen and heard wounds, because that is our basic emotional need, which is to be validated, which is to be seen, which is to be heard. And if we don't do that for each other, or if we don't do that for our community, then we collectively hold ourselves back. And I feel that that's so important to, and I truly have felt that from you too, where you were just like, rah, 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 like my cheerleader. I'm like, rah, rah. And then you're like, how do you, what? Like when you saw me speak, come on and, do my thing. It's like, I sometimes you just need support and need that. Yes, you got this, when we forget that.
And recognize the gift in you.
100%.
We need, as coaches too, and as people in general, we need to recognize the gifts in people and make sure that you're validating that, because that's God-given. I always tell people, whatever you're doing in your life, and what you're doing is a God-given gift, because you have the passion behind it. So yes, we need to help keep saying, yes, Gunjani, keep doing this. You're helping so many people. So see, I need you for an hour on this show. I'm like, what did I do? I should have had you an hour. You have to be come back to be a special hour guest.
Definitely.
But just putting I'm putting a note on there.
Okay.
But I hate to rush this, but if you could just get into 3, because I know there's 7 pillars of manifestation that you do. There's 3 of them that you want to talk a little bit about. If you could just touch on all 3, 100%. And because I really want people to hear that from you.
Yes, thank you. So in the world of manifesting, one of the things, because I truly believe that we get to co-create our life, we get to design our life the way we want, and the way we are in the inside is what, it is the external reality that we create. And I have a 7 pillar, like a 7 key steps to manifesting infinite abundance. And to me, abundance doesn't just mean money and wealth, but it also means health. It also means love. It also means parenting. It means partnership. It means, your contributions and, your community. So literally all areas of life, and living a life that feels wholesome and, balanced and harmonious. So out of the 7 steps, I can only talk about 3, and the 3 most important steps to start with, because I really feel like the first one is scarcity consciousness. We all grew up with it. We all have it. We all have to, it's like, I truly believe that awareness is the key to change. If you are not aware, it's like we only know what we know, right? And we don't know what we don't know. So it's like, where in your life, like, are you noticing around you that there are gaps that you are not liking, or you're feeling in that victim mentality, or in that place of, oh, why is this happening to me, or why is this happening for me? Because there's this whole concept called map of consciousness. And in that, if we get to a place, eventually we can be in the place where we can create the reality that we want by literally getting very. So the second step is getting clear. What is it that is not working out for you? So instead of coming at it from a place of judgment, realize, what can I change? What is here now? Who do I want to become? So focus more on what you want and where you want to be at, as opposed to what is not working out, because 95% of our body is our subconscious mind, which is everything on autopilot. Only 5% of us is conscious, like here, present, otherwise everything. It's like, half the time you go places and you're like, I don't even remember how I got here. I brushed my teeth this morning. I don't even remember if I was present for that. So like, half the time we're literally on autopilot, like moving through life, as opposed to being present, being conscious, being creating, being in this place of, a lot of times. And the third thing is consistency. It's like, how much, like, actions is a big part of manifesting. So it's like, if you're not clear about what you want and where you are, and what actions are you going to take, what strategies are you going to put in place to get to where you want to get to, it's all in the inside. If you don't change the inside, it's like there are people that really amazingly manifest so easily. So because their beliefs truly are, life is easy, life is effortless, life gets to be fun, life gets to be supported. And that's what life presents to them. If you say, I work hard, or money is the root of all evil, or, I am not going to be safe with so much money, or nobody ever says that or voices that. But if you don't feel that, like, if today I just put a check of $1 million in your account, does that, when you notice that, does that feel safe in your nervous system? Or does that feel like, whoa, like, what am I going to do with all this money? And that fear that comes, right? So it's like, if you don't have the emotional intelligence around that, then it's like, our thoughts are the order that we give the universe. Our feelings are what attracts things from our field, right? So it's like really important to know, because a lot of times one of the things that my clients experience is like, I'll be happy when, and it's like, it's already done, it's already on its way. So stop being wibble wobble and be like, like, our ego takes over, our fear takes over, our doubt takes over, and then we're back to our same cycles, as opposed to, who are we becoming on our journey to that 100K months? How do you want to lead? What kind of team do you want to have? What kind of business do you want? Who do you want to impact? How are they feeling? How are you feeling when you're running all that business? We don't even think about that half the time. Most 90% of the time we stay in what is not working, how stressful it is, and how doubtful it is. And I teach women to just literally get so confident, so excited about the life that they're creating, that the things that they're creating has no choice but to show up.
Ooh, I know you had to sum that up quick, but you did such beautiful. It just flowed. But you know what? The biggest thing out of all what you said, I mean, you said so much, so wisdom, but I love how you said we got to be in the present. Yes. We got to appreciate the present of what we're doing and stop saying, well, I can't do this, I need to do this. And then, like you said, we don't even look at, okay, let's take it in. Like right now, we're talking, we're having a conversation about how important this is and who you are. Right. Take that in, do that pause moment.
Right.
Yes.
Take a moment, deep breathe, just be in your body. Be thankful for all the things you have manifested. What we focus on grows. So if we focus on the good, on the positive, like if you focus on a thought more than 16 seconds, especially if it's a negative one, you're going down that spiral so fast. But if you focus on a thought that's 16 seconds, and then you put another thought on it for another 16 seconds, and you put another good thought, you put all the thoughts that are happening already in your life, and you keep building that momentum even for 68 seconds, which is more, it's just a little less than a minute and a half. You can build that momentum into your day playing out so well. It's like, when you wake up in the morning and sometimes you wake up so grouchy and not good. And it's like, your entire day spirals to everything not working out. And it's really important. Like, one of the things that I teach my clients is to set really good habits in your morning, in your day, so you're not doing the same thing over and over. Like, my rule is, because through my postpartum phase, one of the biggest things that I used to do was compare myself to other women and how good I not felt because of that. And my display pictures everybody's display pictures really used to trigger me, because I'm like, oh, they have this picture perfect Pinterest pictures. And here I am feeling so crappy about my body after giving birth and all the things, right? And I'm just like, oh my goodness. And I had to literally shut myself off. And when I came back, that's what I realized. I was like, wow, I needed to focus on the good that was happening in my life to be able to grow that. So it's like, what we focus on grows. I kept focusing on the things that were not working out, that were not happening, that were blah, 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 blah. And I stayed in that for 2 years. And then I'm like, no more. I'm going to keep focusing on the things that I want, that I deserve, that I'm worthy of. And that confidence kept building up. Like, literally, you should have seen one of my first lives. Like, I didn't even know Instagram exists. It's like I switched myself off. I came back and I'm like, there's Instagram now. What? It's just like, it was so funny. I was like, how do you write captions? Like, it was just so interesting. And I'm just like, wow, things really move quickly if you don't keep up with them.
Yeah.
It's just, for me, it was really important that, wow, what I wanted was a consciously living community of amazing women that empowered each other, that lifted each other, that really held me through things. And I really missed that, because, like I said, I had given up everything when I moved from Florida to California, and I had to start from like scratch again. So since then, my rule has been, I just need to be 1% better than I was yesterday. Instead of what other people are doing, what they're happening, I'm going to keep focusing, staying in my lane, and go where I need to go, and the vision that I have for myself and the world, the impact that I want to make in the world, as opposed to, oh, what is not happening, and this sucks and that sucks. And negativity is very easy for all of us. It's our survival mechanism.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Oh my lady. Okay. So I know you give us so much wisdom, but I'm going to ask just for 30 more seconds, because I want to take myself down. I want you to close out anything that you want to end for people to really absorb. And then I'm going to come back up so they can know how to contact you. So I'll be right back.
So if you're watching this, I would really like to invite you to just drop in your body, just really quickly, because I know I said all the things, and I want you to close your eyes or soften your gaze and just take a deep breath and just be in this moment. Take another deep breath, just rising all this energy, getting in your body, and up top, just holding that breath, breathing in. I am so thankful to be alive today. And exhaling all that you came here with, all the fears, all the doubts, all the judgment, all the stress of the day. And every day, every moment, you have so much power to create your next steps, to create your reality, to create the life you want. So getting very intentional and making that decision. In this moment, is this thought serving me? In this moment, is this feeling serving me? If the answer is no, what do I desire to feel? Ask your higher self. What is it that I desire to feel? What is it that I desire to create? What is it that I need help with? And ask for guidance. The guidance is always available to you, is always there for you, is always here to assist you. And the question, you could say something along the lines of, what would it take for me to dash? What vibrational energy do I align with in order to embody abundance, more joy, more bliss, more peace in my life? The minute you find yourself in your old patterns, recognize that you stop that in your tracks, and you have the power, bold and capital. Power does not have to be bad. Power means You get to make the decisions and design and create and co-create the life you want, you deserve, you are worthy of. That's what you were here as, love. And then life happened and you learned some patterns that you get to unlearn and become the best and the highest version of you.
Thank you for that exercise. I was hoping that you was going to do that breathing. So breathing exercise.
We have to drop in our body, right? We know so much. We don't stop sometimes.
Oh my God. So Queen, let them know how they can contact you, lady.
Yes. So I am available all over social media, basically on Instagram as Breathe to Awaken Abundance, but mainly on Facebook. I have an amazing private community. If you identify as an ambitious female entrepreneur and are looking to manifest consistent 10K months so you can be financially free and whatever that looks like for you, so you can have a little bit more peace, a little bit more ease, a little bit more excitement, a little bit more fun in your business, then I'm your girl. I would love to help you manifest the freedom and abundance in your life. So find me on Facebook and email me anytime. My email address is consciouslyliving.co@gmail.com. And you can find me on Facebook.
Okay, now I'm going to say this. I want to just tell people, go get you, but I have to say it nicely. I suggest that you welcome this wonderful, amazing, incredible coach, Gunjani, in your life, because once you let her in your life, it's going to explode. And you're talking about abundance and being able to say, you know what, I can do this. She's there just for you. So thank you, Queen, so much for coming on my show. We got to bring you back, okay? We got to
be back. I'm working on myself, so I'll be back.
You get me back. You're coming back. Please come back.
Of course, I am going to come back. This has been such an honor. Thank you so much. Like just being in your world, I feel like your energy, your passion, your excitement for others and serving others is just so contagious that I just feel like, oh, you're stuck with me for life.
You're stuck with me. I even told you. I said you might have said, you know what, Barbara, stop.
I don't think that would happen. I think we are like twins in that. So absolutely, Barbara.
Sisters. I always say. So thank you, lady. And like I told people, if you want to be a part of the Coaches Lounge, come on the Coaches Lounge. Please do. Like I said, I want to give you visibility for the world changers that you are, just like this wonderful queen here, Gunjani. I mean, you've learned so much just from the two coaches today. And I know there's other coaches out there, but we need to be aware of them. And that's what I do here. So that's the platform here. And again, Miss Queen, I will see you soon. Have a wonderful weekend. And I don't want to say, I'll see you later because you are coming back.
Oh, yeah. Only a matter of time. I'm headed to Bali on Sunday for my first retreat, but I'll be back. Ooh, yes.
Ooh, okay, yeah, we do need to bring you back so you can talk about that.
Yes, that was on my vision board. It's coming to life. So thank you.
Coming to manifestation. So with that said, take care, everybody. Have a nice weekend. We'll see you next Friday.